Thrive is made possible by the Miracle Channel family and their generous donations.
Wherever there's an incredible value for others, a love for others, that is where people just thrive.
Good morning, good morning. We are back. It is so good to be on Thrive with you all joining us. You know, today I am joined again with two of my sisters, Danielle and Michala.
Hello.
And we're excited to be here. You know, Thrive is it's just been such an important thing to our family. We love being a part of it. We love being able to come on here and just talk about God's word. And we're so glad that you decided to join with us. And you know what? On YouTube, let us know how long you've been watching for. Maybe this is your first time watching. We'd love to hear that. Or share this link out to your friends and say, hey, join us on Thrive today, because we'd love for you all to just be a part of this with us as we do this Thrive show today. You know, we were just chatting a little bit before the show started with just how the summer's been going for us. It's been crazy and busy, more busier than all of us were thinking, to be honest. But I feel like that's just how summer is supposed to be. It's late nights, right?
Especially with kids. It's like, you got kids, you got some good stories.
Yes,
so.
And so we've actually just been talking about, and we were like, you know what, maybe we should show some of them on Thrive today, because it would be so cool just to let everyone see kind of what's been going on with us. But
Totally.
I know you were saying, well, we all got together on the weekend and we went to a friend's farm, and it was just so fun. And they were amazing. They just blessed us. They had all these quads and stuff. And so our kids got to experience some quad rides for the first time.
Harvey went on his very first quad ride with my husband, Austin. That's them there, Harvey and Austin. And Austin filmed his face on his very first quad ride. And it's very cute. So I'm going to play that for you guys right here. Let's see if that works. There it goes. And, oh, I have to press
Push play.
Yes.
There.
So he's having the time of his life. It's excitement. And then you kind of see, like, I don't know about this. Is it too fast?
Oh, my gosh.
And then it goes back to being happy.
Oh, look.
And then it goes back to being happy. Oh, man.
I love how he said,
so
you're
cute.
going so fast.
So cute.
I love those.
That's
You know,
so
I
cute.
always told Jeremy, like, anytime our kids do, like, funny things like this, you know, on those Instagram videos where they mic their kids when they're doing something, I was like, we have to do that one time. And you know what's funny? I should have done that for this one, because I have a photo of Billy. Billy just learned how to ride a bike, a two-wheeler bike, and it was hilarious. She's been on one of those balance bikes for a really long time. And you know what? I have to say that it really did help her with her balance, because as soon as she kept begging us to get on a big girl bike, is what she calls it, we barely had to do anything. We like pushed her bum slightly, and then all of a sudden she just took off. And Jeremy came down the driveway and he was like, how long have you been doing this with her? I'm like, I literally just did it. She took off and she did it, no problem. It was so funny. But now we are a family of bike riders. We go bike riding every day, and it's been a lot of fun.
I'm just an incredible teacher.
Yes.
I taught her so quickly.
Well, you know, I really am. Like, it is because, no, I'm just kidding.
That is fun, though. It's fun seeing your kids learn new things this summer, because Harvey came, like, not really knowing how to ride a scooter, but his big cousin Ellis rides a scooter. And so we got him like a two-wheeler scooter, and he has become a scooter boy. And now, Gabriel was before too, but Gabriel's even more now.
So
they scooter all across the road. They're like, we're like, cars.
I know.
We got to keep our eyes on them.
It's so fun because Danielle and David and Jeremy and I, we live quite close to each other. We live in the same neighborhood. But anytime all of a sudden we do like an impromptu, like, let's go for a walk, like the amount of bikes and scooters that follow us with all the kids, it's hysterical. But, and no, I was just telling them, Billy is my youngest, she's my third, and she is just a wild card. She is hilarious, she is fiery, she does all the things. And so I was just telling them, I'm gonna play a video of mine for you guys, because
and this was after the beach, right? We had a long day at the beach. all the kids came home. We were all kind of texting each other being like, our kids are overtired.
Yeah.
They're doing funny things.
Yeah, it was a sunny day and they just went. And so this, let's see if I can.
And Tamara put this in our family chat. And this is so Billy. It's hilarious.
Unmute. Oh, see, guys,
we're learning how to be techie this morning. Airplay.
Oh no, I can't do it. Oh,
you got it.
Airplay. Sorry, we got it. My husband is the techie one out of us.
Got it.
So here she is.
Oh, here she is.
Sitting on our deck. And
what is she saying?
I think I unmuted it. There we go. And she's enjoying blueberries right now. And Jeremy,
you gotta press play.
No, I know. I'm just giving a quick commentary.
Oh.
And Jeremy was laying on the couch, and he was just like secretly recording her because she had no idea. And just like her, just literally loving these blueberries and the way she's talking. Here, I'll play it.
That's funny.
It was so funny.
She's like the queen of the home.
Yeah, and then she's eating, and she just, she's like, these are a little sour. I'm just gonna close my eyes. And
Is that what she says?
yeah,
in this?
she goes, ooh, and she makes that sour face. Oh, right there. And then all of a sudden,
so cute.
throughout the video, she goes, and then I literally cut that video like so much. She did that for like 2.5 minutes. She just sat there eating blueberries, closing her eyes, and just like really, really enjoying them.
She's a ham.
Yes.
She's the third born.
We live in Winnipeg, so we've been visiting and staying with Danielle. And so we've got now 4 kids under 6 in the house, and they've been doing water fights every day. And Gabriel's become quite the prankster with water. And so Harvey was like fooling around the sprinkler, and he's trying to figure out how to get it to work. And Gabriel goes and turns on the hose, and then he crunches it like this so that no water comes out. And then he waits for Harvey to put his face over it, and then he undid it, and Harvey got water in his face, and Gabriel just started laughing so hard. It was so,
that's really
so
cute.
funny.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I didn't do any videos, but I have a couple pictures. Can I show you the head one of Gabe first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's happy here, but on Sunday, he was chasing Billy, who you just saw in the video, and he slipped and went full bore into the corner of the wall.
It was so sad.
That thing went up, went blue so quickly, and yeah, it was really sad.
You know what the funny, I was laughing, I was like, it's funny when your kid gets hurt in like a family full of people who pray, because every time he showed one of us aunts or uncles, we were like pain go, healing flow in Jesus' name. And that thing was almost gone by the next morning.
Oh my gosh, it was almost gone.
So good.
It was huge, and by the next morning, it must have been 30%, hey?
We felt so bad though, because when he hit the wall, he made a little divot in the wall. He hit it so hard.
His head imprint is in there. But anyway, and then I just have one from when we went to the beach all together. The couple times they've been talking about it. Oh yeah, there's David and I and Gaby. Yeah, and then the next one's Gabe in the water. It's like he doesn't want to fully go in and swim. He swims in the bathtub. Yeah, he like just wants to watch everyone in the water.
He practices like holding his breath under the water.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like an Olympic swimmer.
He is in the bathtub. It's like, watch me, watch me, watch me.
Oh my gosh. By next summer.
Yeah,
well, we talked a little bit about our summer, but like, let us know, what are you doing right now for the summer with your family? Is there any traditions that you are doing? Yeah, let us know and write it in the box. We'd love to read
or
and
any good ideas of what we could do with kids during the summer.
Yes. Well, we're actually gearing up for our church camp too, which is coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah. And that's always a highlight of, all of us, but our kids have a blast because they literally know they have all day. They don't go to bed till like 11 or later for my older ones at least. And they get to just like have the whole camp to themselves. They bike ride everywhere. Fun. And no, it's super fun.
We have two of them, one in Manitoba.
Yes,
and then
one
our
in Calgary
church, we go down to Montana. So it's pretty.
That'll be good.
That'll be fun. We're like in grizzly territory. So I remember last year when you guys were planning the youth games.
Yes.
The camp was like, please do not bring fish. Don't bring squid. don't bring anything like that for your youth games because it
gosh.
attracts bears. We're like, okay, all
And the funny
right.
thing is we did have a squid game. So that just shows youth ministry for you.
100%.
Actually, no, yeah. Anyways, it was funny.
Oh my word.
Anyways,
yes.
we're living it up.
It is. It's been fun. It's been a great
Yes.
summer. But you know what? Okay, we're going to dive into Devoted. You know, we just love, if you haven't heard of our Devoted, we do a devotional here at Miracle Channel. And it's because of all of our givers and our Miracle Channel family that we're able to do this. And we have devotions that come from a few of us in our family that are pastors. So you'll see some familiar names: Jeremy, David, Zach, Michala, who's here with us today, and Eden. And lately this past week, it's been from our dad, Leon Fontaine, actually, which we've just been loving, being able to dive a little bit deeper in the devotions that he's been doing. And so we've been talking a little bit about these 2 ditches that Leon's been writing about in here. And so for this one, I think we're still on the same topic.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then I think Danielle's going to read it. And let's just go from there.
It's called, Is It a Spiritual Problem? How can you tell if a problem you're having is a practical or spiritual issue? We've been on a series about Spirit Contemporary, the key to moving forward in life. We need to address both spiritual and practical issues in life, but how can we tell the difference? The truth is, you can't always tell, so it's important to always address the things from both angles. We always need to pray and claim God's promises, and we always need to apply practical means to solving our problems. However, one example of a spiritual problem we can encounter is when we experience weariness. Galatians 6:9 says not to grow weary in well-doing, and by that, it's talking about something other than tiredness. Weariness causes us to lose hope. It's usually the result of negative thinking, and it can be of a spiritual nature because the enemy loves to try to plant defeated thoughts in our minds. Today's verse tells us how to stand against these fiery darts. Satan tries to use Today's verse tells us how to stand against these fiery darts Satan tries to use on us. But first, let me clarify that fiery darts aren't situations or illnesses or other problems. Satan doesn't have that much power.
Yeah.
All he can do to us is try to plant thoughts in our minds, which is why it's so important to renew our minds in the Word. If little fiery darts, negative thoughts keep coming at you, just keep meditating on and claiming God's promises. Then you can begin to put those little fires out with your faith, knowing that God has great plans for you and his promises are yours. Mm-hmm. And that verse is Ephesians 6:16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. Gosh, that was so good. Yeah. We even touched a little bit on this yesterday too. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's been, I think one of the things as you were reading it, and I was reading it earlier before too, I love how he points out the growing weary. Mm-hmm. Like in that verse, do not grow weary in doing good. And at first, sometimes you can skim past it and you're like, oh yeah, that's a great tip. But then when you really like just how Dad kind of unpacked that, I love how he says, because when you grow weary, you start to give up hope. You start to think like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling done. And no matter what it is in any area of your life and what you're going through. And that one just really hit me so well, because I was just like, oh, sometimes when you get caught up in a problem, when you get caught up in something that's happening in your marriage, in your family, in jobs, like all of a sudden when you allow the weariness to get to you, it is hard. It's difficult to be able to if you don't know how to get yourself out of it, right? To get up and be like, okay, I don't know if I want to keep doing this.
And I think that looks like asking a lot of questions. Like when you're believing for something and maybe you don't see it happen in the time length that you want it to change. Of like I know we have friends that we've all been through this with, whether it's ourselves or them, where you're in conversation, it's like, I just don't understand why this hasn't happened yet. Like maybe it's not God's plan. And you start going down there, and I think what you don't realize is like you're actually taking faith out of the equation, because you're no longer just relying, hey, no, this is actually promised by God to me. Mm-hmm. And also just resting in the fact of there's stuff happening in the unseen that I don't know.
Totally.
So it's not that it's not moving in the right direction, but like Faith is having confidence without seeing it, but believing, hey, I know where this is going. And that's what I'm pushing forward to do. And that's how I'm going to direct my thoughts, my words, my intentions, my everything in that direction.
It's work to do that. It's so easy to talk about the problem and do you understand how I feel? Do you know where I'm coming from? But like, you know, talking about community and living life with community, and that's how God has made it. That is purposeful. It's so that we can build each other's faith up. It's so that I can join my faith to yours. It's so we can sit together and go, okay, I get that you're going through this, but like now let's get our eyes off of this because it's not causing you any good. It's just brewing more dread and like anxiousness in you. And focus on actually trying to just be hopeful and just be like, you know what, this is in your hands. I declare your will be done. You know, like you're with us, you're with every step. Give me the wisdom. That takes a lot more work. It's easier to sit and complain. And I know sometimes we all need to get things out. Like, don't get me wrong. But
how many times?
Yeah, about how many times. And make sure you have those people in your lives that are like,
okay,
let's pray about this now.
True, though,
like, let me pray.
The enemy has a way of just making you feel like a victim. Like, I'm the only one going through this. Like, you don't understand what I'm going through right now. And I think that's where, you know, we've been talking a little bit on these last couple episodes with David on this last one too. And so it's just being caught up in the victim mentality of like, but you guys just need to understand what it is. Like, do you not understand? And I get that, but it's then when you start doing that and getting yourself isolated, and then you get caught up in the emotions of it. And that's where you have to be careful, because the emotions can lead you down a very not good path, and it can get you stuck. And that's where the growing weary and the losing hope. And that's where I think now more than ever in our adult age, I'm like, I love having friendships and having all these people that you have in your corner. But it's those people, like you said, who you can talk about it, but then it's like, all right, we're done. We're done talking about it now. What are we going to be? What are we going to be confessing? What are we going to be speaking over your life? And it is a discipline. If you want to get out of that hole, if you want to get out of the weariness, start doing things that is going to make you do the opposite. And that's where it's like, you know, Danielle was saying, like, you have the scriptures, you have the devoted, listen to your favorite preacher or somebody who's talking on that specific topic. I love doing it on my phone too. Like, I'll post a scripture on like my screen and I'll so I can just read it every day. And if it's a specific topic of what I'm going through, you know, and I think that is so encouraging when you're able to know.
It's huge, because it's not just taking thoughts captive and giving them to God, but it's a step further than that. It's, what are you replacing those thoughts with? What are you renewing your mind with? And like Dad talked about in his devotional, are you like declaring God's promises over you? That's huge when you're like in defeat or anxiousness. Anxiousness seems to be a big one. You know, like what am I believing? Look through the Bible, take time and search. I want peace. I need strength. What do you need? Search for it and start declaring those words over you. Because it's one thing to just shut off the thoughts and pray, but it's another thing to actually discipline yourself to speak over your life and replace those thoughts and plant them into your heart. And so just, you know, what was it? The seeds, planting the seeds in your heart so that grows for future.
I love that. Well, you know, we have a beautiful testimony from a couple that just talks about how they kind of grew weary in a situation in their life. And so I know it's going to encourage you. So let's watch that for a few minutes.
We knew that whatever God's plan for us was better than what we imagined anyways.
We noticed how caring and loving Macy was, and we really wanted to give her that sibling. It
was at about 9 weeks of that pregnancy that I just randomly started to bleed one day, and it was clear I was having a miscarriage. We decided to try again right away. I made it to an ultrasound for that one, and then I started to miscarry again. So it was the second one in a row. That one hit me pretty hard.
During those 2 years of miscarriages, there was obviously, I think, a lot of frustration. We did stay positive. We just believed that we were going to be able to have another child and give Macy, our daughter, a sibling.
Fast forward about a year from that pregnancy, and we tried again, got pregnant really quickly. I started to experience symptoms of what a pregnancy would be like. They did the ultrasound. The tech got really quiet. So the doctor at the ultrasound clinic came in to see me and said, that they had seen something abnormal on the ultrasound and that it looked as though I was having a molar pregnancy. So they said what it looked like was a mass of cells in your uterus that have essentially started to multiply just at random and at a very alarming rate. I remember calling Jordan and just losing it in the parking lot of the ultrasound clinic, because it was just like, how is this happening again? How are we doing this again? I remember sitting in the hospital waiting for that surgery. I was mad. Like, I sat there and I was talking to God, and he walked me through it. He met me in my anger, which was incredible, because it was okay that I was mad at him. And he was telling me, it's okay, you're mad. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It was an incredible moment for he and I, because we just really got to sit together by ourselves. And he walked me through it, everything. Every time I would kind of dip into this low space of like, what if this hinders my health in a way where I can't be there for my daughter? He just took me out of it, which was incredible. When my doctor called me in for an appointment, the first thing he said is, so it actually wasn't a molar pregnancy. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, the blood work, the this, the that. I was like, everything said, no doctor. I saw 3 doctors. It wasn't a question. God did a work. He did a miracle, because it was. I left knowing that was a victory of God doing a miracle, even when I thought my body was failing me. We look back now at it and we're like, the amount that God did throughout all of it, he made beautiful things come out of everything. He pulled good out of every single one of them.
Part of the miracle was that not only did we find out that it wasn't a molar pregnancy, but that there was no fertility issues at all, even after 3 miscarriages.
We decided it was time to try again. At 8 weeks, we went for the ultrasound, and for the first time in 3 years, I got to see an embryo. It was honestly, I was like bawling my eyes out.
Immediate tears, yeah.
We went through that pregnancy and there were no issues. There were no complications. There was no concerns. She was healthy throughout the whole thing. Now we have a 6-month-old beautiful baby girl. That is our victory. We stand in that, and we'll continue to stand in that. God knew, and he brings beautiful things out of what the world says is the worst time in your life. Every day, or after every miscarriage, after every thing that happened, we chose to step forward. We chose to move forward in what God said, not in what the world was saying. Because what the world would say, 3 miscarriages, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't try again. A molar pregnancy, oh, you could have another one. We didn't choose that. We chose God instead. I look at her and I'm like, you are our blessing. You are our victory.
Wow, what
That's
a testimony,
beautiful.
hey?
Yeah.
And like, that's exactly what it is, what we've been talking about. It's like, whatever you're dealing with, you know, for them, it was fertility, and maybe it's sickness for you in a certain way. Maybe it's financial, or a family member, or a marriage, whatever it is. I think it's a beautiful thing. Hope is a beautiful thing. And when I see testimonies like that, all it does is want to encourage me. And I hope it encourages you, because to go through 3 miscarriages like they did, and then tell themselves, no, like, it's okay. We're still believing that a baby is on the way, and that we are going to have a healthy baby. Like,
I think what's beautiful is she got mad, but she brought that anger to God. She didn't just get mad at God, or mad and let herself just feel bad for herself, but she's like, hey, God, I'm fed up. This is not right. And God met her in his anger and showed her the comfort she needed, the refreshness of energy that she needed. And I think that is exactly what God asks us to do, is he says, just bring it to me, surrender it to me, and allow my strength to build up in you in your weakness. You don't have to try to cover up your issue or how that's making you feel, but you can bring those feelings to God and saying, this is not where I'm staying. And I love how Dad would say it, like, get mad at the issue, because that issue has no right over you. So get mad enough to speak to the issue and say, hey, issue, you have no right over my body. I have a dream for children. I have a dream that my body is, going to carry a child full term. And then I love how you can incorporate what we've been talking about the past 2 days of, like, what are the practical things? As I believe for this miracle, I'm going to get my body healthy. I'm going to, of course, bring it to doctors and see what they have to say. But sometimes doctors, might not give you great things.
Yeah.
And I also love how she wouldn't let them take her miracle away. Oh, I guess we were wrong. It's not a molar pregnancy. It's like, no, like it was, and my God gave me victory, and I'm holding on to that.
I love that she said, instead of the situation, they chose God. I was like, that's such a great line, because it doesn't matter what you're going through, God is more. It doesn't matter what the doctors say, God is more. What are you going to look at? God. And she gets me going. She was so full of faith. She's like, I know what I'm like. That's walking into a doctor's office can be hard. You got to get your mind on straight, especially if you're getting bad news. So I just love that. I chose God instead.
I'll also say, because this is one of my close friends, is I had a baby during this time. And so one of her miscarriages was at the same time that I was pregnant. And she had lots of friends getting pregnant during this time and having babies. And it's not easy, but she was the friend who's like, so tell me how you're feeling. Like, she would celebrate what we were going through, even though she was walking through that. And so I think there's something beautiful about that as well, is like, she didn't become a victim to it. It hurt. But she also is like, but I can celebrate that in other people, because if it's happening for them, it's happening for me.
Exactly.
And I think that's really good. Sometimes we can look at envy, and envy is not going to lead you into God's truth and in the miracle.
And you do get self-focused when you're going through stuff like that. So that's what I love. I've always, Dad's taught us this too, but that's something that I'm constantly reminding. It's like, get your eyes off of yourself. And if all of a sudden you are in a situation like this, like how Delaney was, like that's truly what I also do try to practice. If there's something that you're believing for and there's people around you that are going through it and maybe they're getting it and you're not, just keep pressing in and be excited for them, but also being hopeful and knowing that your miracle is coming. It's coming. And I love how Michala said, be angry. Be angry at the situation, because if you're going through a hard time, if life is difficult, if there's sickness, whatever it is, that is not of God. It is not. So don't allow that trick to come into your mind, but be hopeful and know that God has better for you. And there's a number at the bottom of our screen. Call us if you want prayer, if you just want to talk through whatever you're going through. We are here. We have a team waiting and ready to be able to do this. And like I said, again, grab that devoted. If you do not have it yet, email, call in, we'll get that devoted to you. I hope this episode today has encouraged you just to remain and be hopeful and know that God is going to get you through everything that you're going through. God bless, and we will see you tomorrow on Thrive at 11 a.m.
Thrive is only made possible by the generous donations of people like you. 100% of your donation goes towards ministry efforts. Call today and make a significant impact in the lives of Canadians. Through your financial investment, you are a missionary to the world. Phone lines will remain open for a limited time. Connect with us now by calling 1-800-815-6513. or visit miraclechannel.ca/thrive to leave your comments, prayer requests, and praise reports. Together, let's thrive.